So you want to start your healing journey, but there's so many modalities out there you don't know where to start, and that's okay. I got you. Welcome to today's video. I really want to talk about how to start your healing journey, and I really wish that I had this when I started my healing journey because for me, it really felt like I was kind of just thrown into the deep and I had to figure out what worked and kind of how to navigate through that and how to do it. So I just want to lay out for you some things that you can do and incorporate in order to navigate through your healing journey in a way that feels good for you. So, the first step here is awareness. Start to observe, start to notice, start to bring awareness to the way that you behave around others, your triggers, what made you feel emotional. Like, start becoming aware of even the way that you're moving through life, the thoughts that you're having, the thoughts that feel supportive and the thoughts that don't feel supportive. It all begins with cultivating an awareness around how you're moving through the world so you can notice, okay, what works and what doesn't work, and what's keeping me in a cycle that doesn't feel good, and what do I need to step into to get out of that. Within this comes my second step, which is bringing awareness to your triggers. So, what makes you feel emotional? What annoys you? What brings you anger? What makes you sad? In your interactions with people, in relationships, like where are your triggers? And oftentimes, almost all of the time, the reason that we feel something is because there's something there. There's an attachment in our bodies to something that lies beyond the interaction that brought up the trigger. So oftentimes it activates a belief within ourselves that comes up, and that's what we feel that emotion towards, that what we feel the reaction towards. So how does it make you feel? And the important thing here is to just feel it and to just be with it and don't try to analyze it as it comes up, because that's already your body, your mind trying to protect yourself from actually working through the trigger and resolving it instead of taking a closer look and letting it pass through you. So the first thing is be with the feeling, feel the feeling, and only then you can look at what did it teach you about yourself. It's always a message. What message are you hearing now? Sometimes it can be someone, so I'll give you an example here is what used to trigger me a lot before was someone telling me what to do. It's a small thing, like of course it's annoying if someone tells you what to do, but why did it trigger me so much? Why did it make me feel unworthy? Like it touched really, really deep feelings of unworthiness within myself when someone told me what to do. Even if it's about something that they may just know better than me, I found it hard to accept that because it immediately triggered this feeling of unworthiness within myself. So when I recognized that, I was like, okay, this is what makes me feel triggered. And this is the belief that I have about myself that is activated by this person or by this situation. And once you bring awareness to the belief that's being activated, the belief that you have about yourself, that's when you can start to transform it and you can transmute that belief. And you can start shifting it from what you do want to believe about yourself. So you have that core belief that may be there, and then you have the belief that you want to have. And you can start shifting it there already by just bringing awareness to it and by actively stopping your mind when it's trying to perpetuate that old belief and just coming in and saying, hey, that's not true. And I'd like to believe this. Because here's the thing, you get to choose what you believe about yourself. You get to choose. It's up to you. You can believe that you're unworthy and that you're never going to be enough, but you can also believe that you are inherently worthy and that your enoughness is in your being. And which one feels better? It's you can choose what you want to believe, and it just takes your own commitment to yourself and your own devotion to showing up for yourself to honor those new beliefs and to give attention and energy to birthing those new beliefs and letting go of the old ones that aren't true. And this is where you start responding instead of reacting. And I do truly believe that whatever you believe is going to be truth for you. So whether you believe that, and this like trickles down even further than just limiting self-beliefs. Like, for example, if you believe that by manifesting you can get whatever you want, that's what you're going to get. that's what's going to work for you. If you believe that through working with your body, you're going to be able to manifest the life you desire, that's going to work for you. If you believe it's through mindset only, that's going to work for you. I think that what you believe determines your reality. So why not choose to believe things about yourself and about the world that feel good and that help you elevate and that warm your hearts, right? So the third one, I wish I had this. I wish I had this one, but I figured it out the hard way. Finding where you're looking outside of yourself for something to fulfill you, something to make you feel good. So, for example, very common ones are stability or safety that we're looking for outside of ourselves. Maybe in a partner, maybe in a relationship, maybe in a job. Where can you find that feeling of safety and stability within? Another one is love, oftentimes, or external validation. We're looking at that for other people. We want other people to give to us love so that we feel good. We want other people to give words of affirmation of, okay, you're doing well, you're doing good enough, I'm proud of you, so then we'll feel good. But how can you start giving that to yourself? Because cultivating wholeness within yourself is going to be the key to feeling happy, to feeling fulfilled, and also to coming to relationships from a place that feels good for you, a place that's whole, a place that's genuine. And I have a whole video on this, I'll link it in the description below, which is finding fulfillment within yourself and stop trying to externalize. And the thing is, we're taught to externalize our feelings of self worth. We're taught to externalize everything about ourselves to feel good because it feeds into the patriarchy, it feeds into capitalism, and it feeds into the systems that we are constantly perpetuating unconsciously a lot of the times. But it's up to you to step out of that and to start cultivating it within, and to start giving yourself everything that you seek outside of yourself, and you'll feel so fulfilled. And you won't need anything outside of yourself anymore to feel fulfilled. And you can come from a place of love instead of coming from a place of needing love, which is a place of lack. And what's helped for me here is finding, like, building my relationship with the divine, building my relationship with God, with Source, however you like to call it, because that is so sacred and there's so much unconditional love and worthiness there. And once you can start finding that, because it's always going to be there, it's always going to be there, you're always going to be there. When you externalize feelings of any feelings, they can be like it's outside of yourself, it can fall away, it can get lost, it can be taken from you, it can go. When you keep it within, it's always going to be there and it's going to be safe and reliable and steady. And the last one is so important. It's practicing self-love. I feel like this one is often like overlooked because it's like, oh, love yourself. But we're so used to repeating the voices that we heard growing up criticizing us. And we're so used to hearing them over and over and over again whenever we may not do something that is good enough or whatever. We hear those voices again like, oh, it's never good enough. You can't do it. You need to be better. You need to do more. And we're so used to those voices that we don't even recognize their presence anymore as something that is not supposed to be there. We think it's normal, but it's not. So where can you shift that voice to some more compassionate, some more loving voice that just tells you, you know what, you're good enough as you are, you're whole as you are. Where can you be a little bit more sweet to yourself? Is to look at myself as my inner child, as a 8-year-old or 9-year-old girl that, you know, it's just, she just wants to love and she just wants to explore the world. And I wouldn't speak harshly to an 8-year-old child in that way. I wouldn't scream at them saying they're not enough and that they need to do more. And you have your inner child within you. So once you start looking at yourself, when you're in those moments of self-criticism with like, oh, I'm talking to my inner child, like I would never talk to her like that. And she's there, it's her you're talking to, it's your inner child that you're talking to. So recognizing that and leaning into where you can shift so you're more loving, more compassionate, So those are the four things that would have really helped me to know as I started my healing journey. I feel like if you start implementing these four things, you'll already get so far, and you can really start healing old wounds that don't serve you anymore and step into the best version of yourself. So I just want to remind you, healing is a life, like I'm telling you, a lifelong journey. You can't just do some things and oh, you're healed. Like I'm healed. No, 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 honey. No, no, no. Doesn't work like that, unfortunately. It takes a little bit longer, but that's okay because it's a beautiful, beautiful journey back home to yourself. So I just want to invite you today to kind of look at where can you act lovingly towards yourself, where can you practice some self-love, whether that be in an internal dialogue or just taking care of yourself a little bit extra or just whatever way feels good to you and doing some self-love practices there. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this helped you and don't forget to like and comment and subscribe and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.